All right, another spark and another build. Welcome back to The Forge, your weekly deep dive into the world of Tools and Titans.
Today, we're doing something special. We're not just talking about strategy, we're watching it unfold.
That's right, Tatiana. We have a different live simulated PvP match. This is round one of a clash between two incredible players, showcasing two very different Titans.
It's Wings of Grace versus Gears of Grief. In one corner, we have lore content creator Trask, known for his methodical defensive playstyle. He's piloting Latchwing, the Gleaming Watcher.
And in the other corner, TCG reviewer Harlo, a player who loves chaos and aggressive engine-building decks. He is wielding the Rustborn Titan, Ashvicar, the Flame of the Forgotten.
Before we get to the action, for anyone new, a turn in Tools and Titans is built on 6 simple steps.
How do you play? Simple, really. Draw your cards, charge your energy, build your field, act with your powers, clash with your Titans, end your turn. 6 steps, infinite strategy. Now let's see how our players use them. It all starts with the setup phase, the Forge Gate Protocol.
First, let's profile the Titans. Trask is on Latchwing, a flagship of the Preservent faction. The Preservent philosophy is all about building, protecting, and creating a sustainable board state. Latchwing itself is a guardian. Think of a massive, metallic owl with wings of hard light. It defends, it supports, it outlasts.
The deck style confirms this. Support zone defense with flight-based tempo. Trask wants to build a fortress. He'll use Latchwing's abilities to protect his cards and himself, while using flight mechanics to outmaneuver Harlo and gain advantages over time. He's starting at 23 combat power and a high 6 structure toughness.
And his opponent, Harlo, is on Ashvicar, a Rustborn from the Corroding Triad. The Rustborn are twisted reflections, corrupted ideals. Ashvicar wasn't born this way. It was a titan of industry and reuse, but its obsession with breaking things down to their base components went too far. Now it represents entropy, inevitable decay.
Its deck is a slow-burning corrosion engine with Scorch trigger buildup. This is insidious. Ashvicar doesn't win by a knockout punch. It wins by making the entire game state toxic for the opponent. Harlo will play Scorch tokens, making zones hostile, building an engine that punishes Trask for simply playing the game. He has a higher 25 combat power, but a fragile 4 toughness. He plans to burn the field down, not defend it.
The protocol begins with the Divine Draw. A random card is revealed for a potential bonus. Trask is up. He reveals and, yes, a charge token. A fantastic start, giving him an extra point of energy. He draws his opening hand of 7 cards.
With that extra charge, Trask's opening is much stronger. He surveys his options and makes his first moves. He plays a tool card, Skyfeather Coil, into Zone 1, the front line.
Let's describe this card. The Skyfeather Coil is a preservant tool that looks like a small vortex of wind and light. It's a glider card, meaning it's cheap to deploy and can move forward quickly to claim territory. It's a pure tempo play.
Next, he plays a task card into Zone 2, the midfield. It's called Guard the Nest Vault. This is a 3-turn mission. If Trask can keep this card on the field for 3 turns, it grants a permanent +1 toughness to all of his structures. It's a long-term investment in his fortress strategy.
This is classic Trask, an early tempo play with the coil backed by a long-term defensive investment. Latchwing's Sanctuary is already being constructed.
Now for Harlo and Ashvicar. His Divine Draw reveals a card with no charge token, no bonus. He draws his 7 cards. A slower start, but this deck is designed for it.
Let's see his setup. He plays a Tool Gritfire Injector into his Zone 1. It only costs 1 charge point. Very efficient. This tool looks like a jury-rigged piece of rusted pipe, constantly dripping a dark fluid. It's a core piece of his Scorch engine.
He follows it with a task card in Zone 2. Kindle the Forgotten Vault. The contrast is chilling. Where Latchwing guards, Ashvicar kindles. This task is also a 3-turn mission. When it completes, Harlo can place a Scorch token in every zone that contains one of his destroyed tools.
It's a setup that says, go ahead, destroy my things, you will only make me stronger. It's a trap. Harlo is building not a fortress, but an inevitability engine. The ashes are stirring.
Okay, the board is set, the plans are in motion. We are now heading into round 1 proper.
This is where the game truly begins, cycling through the 6 phases. First is the Forge phase for passive abilities. Trask checks Latchwing's passive Glide Guard, but it requires an Elemental Weave card in his backline. He doesn't have one yet. Nothing happens.
Same for Harlo. Ashvicar's passive is Burn Memory, but it needs a Scorch token to be on the field. The board is clean, so it's dormant. There's an opening stillness, a storm gathering its wings, or a rot ready to spread.
Next, the Draw phase. Trask draws 1 card, Radiant Shell Warden, a creature with a defensive ability. Harlo draws Rust Shard Pulse Plate, another key piece of his Corrosion puzzle.
Now to the Charge phase. Simple. Each player gains 1 charge. Trask's pool goes to 2. Harlo's pool goes to 1. That Divine Draw bonus is still giving Trask an edge.
We move to the Task phase. The missions begin their countdowns. Trask's Guard the Nest Vault ticks to turn 1 of 3. Harlo's Kindle the Forgotten Vault also ticks to turn 1 of 3. The clock is ticking on both long-term plans.
And now, the Action phase. Players spend charge to play cards. Trask has 2 charge. He makes a powerful defensive play. He spends the full 2 charge to deploy the Radiant Shell Warden he just drew. He places it in Zone 4, his shield zone.
This is a statement. The Warden is a creature that looks like a crab made of pearlescent armor. Its passive is simple. If the Titan is attacked, the Warden intercepts and prevents 1 point of damage. It's a living shield. Trask is committing to his fortress strategy.
Harlo's turn. He has only 1 charge point. He spends it to play the Rust Shard Pulse Plate in his own Zone 4. This looks less like a shield and more like a mine. It's a plate of jagged metal with volatile-looking canisters wired to it.
And its effect is subtle, but brilliant. The card reads, the next tool that is junkyarded adds 1 Scorch token to that same zone. He is setting up reactive insurance. If Trask destroys the Gritfire injector on the front line, Harlo doesn't just lose a card. The pulse plate triggers and the corrosion begins. He's answering defense with a threat.
This is a perfect example of the game's flow. Every Titan turn is the same sequence.
Draw, charge, building, act, clash, end, 6 steps, but infinite ways to forge your victory.
We've seen 4 steps. Now for the 5th, and most exciting one, the Clash phase. In this phase, cards on the front line can move or attack. Trask's Skyfeather Coil in Zone 1 is unopposed.
There's nothing in Harlo's front line to block it, so it glides forward into the center of the board, Zone 3. By moving there, it claims the center control pulse for Trask. This is a huge objective for the first round. Controlling the center provides strategic advantages and sometimes bonus resources.
Wings beat Corruption to the shrine. Trask grabs early center control. Harlo has no cards that can clash this turn, so the phase ends.
Finally, we reach the end phase for cleanup. The tasks progress to their second turn marker. No tools were destroyed, so Harlo's pulse plate doesn't trigger. No Scorch tokens appear. Round 1 is complete.
All right, let's do a full evaluation. Trask and Latchwing are in a strong position. He has 23 combat power, 6 toughness. He has the Skyfeather Coil, controlling the center, and the Radiant Shell Warden protecting him. His defensive task is 2/3 of the way done.
The strategic advantage is clear. Early board control is critical. His defensive engine is online, and he's on track for a massive toughness buff. He has tempo and a clear path forward.
Now for Harlo, he's at 25 combat power, 4 toughness. He has the Gritfire Injector on his front line and the Rust Shard Pulse Plate waiting in the back. His own task is also progressing. He lost the center. Is his position weak?
I don't think so. It's deceptive. He played extremely low-cost, efficient engine cards. Nothing he has on the board is a major investment. More importantly, his Scorch technology is prepped. He has created a fail-forward scenario. He is baiting Trask, daring him to attack.
So while on paper, the round 1 winner is clearly Trask, the victory feels fragile. It's not brute force. It's flight with foresight. Trask took the shrine with aerial clarity.
But Harlo's Ashvicar is still smoldering. If that Scorch path opens next round, we may see the Watcher's wings get clipped. The stage is set for a fascinating round 2. Trask has the tempo, but Harlo has laid a trap.
And that's all the time we have for today's breakdown. This game shows how every match tells a story.
In every game of Tools Titans, your tradecraft unfolds in 6 simple moves: draw, charge, building,
Act, clash, end, simplicity for the novice,
mastery for the Titan.